Hello, everyone. Wow, there's already a lot of people in here already. So, welcome to, man, we've been on quite a run here. We're basically the Joe DiMaggio of GBC Live. I think this is our longest stretch of consecutive weekly episodes. That may end next week. Part of the reason is not that GBC is going away, but I've been flirting with the idea about doing a GBC holiday gift guide video. So maybe in lieu of a GBC live, we will go with that video. Who knows? I'll put it up there. Maybe I should throw a poll in there, but if you want, go ahead, add in the comments here. There's some Kern County people already in the house too. Also wanted to mention that we are 11 days away till our next Send It. It will be the 23rd. It is tied in with Ciclavia. We're going to catch the Ciclavia course early in the morning because there's not a lot of traffic there. I think when we had done the Ciclavia last year, when it was towards the end, we kind of got lost because there was too many people. So we still have a lot of fun things. It's got some of the same course, some new things, and you're definitely going to want to have gears thrown on top of that. And then on the 7th, we'll be back with Maverick Cycles of December for our year-end roundup. Also coming very soon, which will be tied probably into this, is wrapping up our Mega Hopper video. It should probably be finished by next week. It's going to be a long video because we had done a lot of riding over 2 days. We got some video of Larissa Connors, Ted King, and Rob Britton that we'll throw in there. So it's going to be a very robust video that showcases the glorious riding in Sonoma while also the agony and pain of doing. Now, remember, it was not a race. It was an adventure. So, speaking of adventures, it's time to get the details on this. And hello, Kevin. Hello, Victor.
Hello, Zachary.
Hey, Zach.
I just snuck you guys right in there. Just wha-pa.
Wasn't even ready for it.
You were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I just commandeered one of your cameras and just threw you in there. Kevin, I have to check this, but you're definitely way up there, probably in our top 3 guests that have been on the most amount of times.
Been here a few times.
Yeah, and we always love having you back because we just love being able to work your way into being comfortable using words and being on camera. Is that going?
It's getting better every time. It's getting better every time.
Now, I was very intrigued by the Mega Hopper. I spent days trying to figure that out and then realized that I couldn't do it. This one I am intrigued about. The timing is the bigger problem. As you know, with my salsa bear grease, I do have the bike for this. It was more the thing of timing, but you must be full of so many ideas. How did you come up with this one?
So the Southern Sierra Fat Tire Tour sprouted when I attempted to do the Tour de los Padres and just got frustrated because of how much hike-a-biking there was, how much it wasn't really a bicycle ride. And I was like, why don't we do something that leaves from the shop that's in our backyard and connects all of our favorite mountain bike trails that any fit cyclist should be able to ride 100% of. And then I started storming ideas and just started linking trails together. And it sprouted for my hatred of the TDLP. So,
I mean, the course is about 200 miles, but about how many miles do you think you scouted before you scoured it down to this clean?
So I've ridden every portion of this route, but not all together. So this is the first time we'll be going out and doing the full route all at once. like I said, it's just all my favorite mountain bike single track trails in the area linked together by mostly dirt roads, and just wanted to do something that would put Kern County and Bakersfield on the map. And at the same time, starting and finishing at the shop, it helps promote the shop is leaving our mark on bikepacking here in Kern County in California. And it's just that's why I'm doing it, is just try to leave our mark somewhere.
So 200 miles is already robust. How much gain is involved with this?
26,000 feet.
So just an easy chill day out.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the 26,000 feet type of guy. So this is gonna be a hard ride for myself as well.
Well, I have to ask this question. I know your answer is going to be yes, but I mean, like, if we had some truth serum in you, is this a route that's capable to do on a gravel bike?
I think so. I think there's it's going to be 50-50. The single track portions will be harder on a gravel bike, but we'll call them the transfer stages will be better on a gravel bike, because you're going to be riding double track fire roads to get to the mountain bike single tracks. So where on a mountain bike, I think you're going to work a little harder on the in-betweens, but have more fun on the single track. So yes, you could. I wouldn't recommend anything less than a 2.0 tire, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm. And Vic, yours comes out to 2.2?
2.25. I'm ready.
You'd be fine. So, and a little background on the trails. All these trails have been around since rim brakes were a thing, and 26-inch wheels. So what's the joke, that gravel bikes are just modern old school mountain bikes?
90s mountain bike.
Yeah, so you got the brakes on your side with the disc brakes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're already getting a lot of people pretty pumped about this. A lot of Kern County love here. And yeah, it's kind of endless. So keep those comments coming.
Kern County sucks for cycling.
That's the new hashtag.
Yeah. So the grand depart is the 2 weeks from Friday.
The 21st.
Wait, is my math right? That's a week.
That's a week.
Yeah, I think we're like, what, 2 weeks out now, or a week out? I don't know.
I guess 10 days away.
Yeah, the days all form together.
Yeah, and I noticed my cohort Alejandro also seems to have a new bike as well. That looks very similar to my fat bike.
Yeah, he actually bought the one that you test rode before you bought yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is Alejandro doing it as well? He looks like he's got everything going.
So me and Alejandro and Priscilla, we rode on Sunday. We went up to scout out Badger Gap, which is on one of the single track trails on the route. And so we climbed up Rancheria, and then went down. He turned around just below the wall before you get to Oak Flat, before the pavement starts, and then rode back down to shake out the new bike and make sure all his gear setup was good. But yeah, he is planning on doing the route. I think so. We have a light version on the back burner just in case there's weather, because we are going up to 9,000 feet, and there is a storm anticipated this weekend, which might cause snow, which might make it unrideable up there. So we have a backup plan, but he sounds like he's doing the light version regardless, just for time's sake. The light version really only cuts out about 7,000 feet elevation, but we won't get snowed out. So
now, okay, I'm going to bring up the map and walk us through there. And let me also throw, hopefully everyone can see as well. I've got the little profile here to help people guide. Now, it just so happens to start out at Grizzly Cycles. That must be real convenient. How did that happen?
That was by design. Like I said, this is something I feel like we were the packing shop in Kern County, and why not start the ride from here?
Okay. Now, when you're saying it's about 200 miles and 26,000 feet of climbing, it seems like the first 10 miles, like it's bookended, the first 10 and last 10 are pretty flat.
Yeah, it's basically like what we rode on the last Gravel Bike California Send It ride. So we're just going out to the foothills where like the rock cobbler is to get to Rancheria. I tried to keep the beginning and the end pretty mellow, just because we got plenty of fun to have on this route, so it doesn't have to kill you the entire time.
Yeah.
I love that logic.
And then I noticed this. Where am I missing it? That we also had to include a Taco Bell in here.
There's a Taco Bell out there, of course.
Yes.
So if you need to load up on bean burritos before you head up the mountain.
Okay. So basically we're heading out. We get onto Highway 178, and then the fun on Rancheria begins. And this is your first, I guess for the longer, the boulder for the rock cobbler, this has been part of that too. This added Rancheria climb. But and I'm familiar with this climb. Fire road, steep in parts, not overly steep. How is this emblematic of a lot of the roads that you'll be on, or does it get a lot of stuff is way worse than this climb?
Wait, I'm sorry. How far in are we at this point?
We're about 12, 13 miles in right here.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
So as far as all the fire roads go, nothing's going to be much worse condition-wise than Rancheria. Rancheria is, we just rode it on Sunday. It's actually running really, really nice. It's not all rutted out. It's not all gross. That could change with the weather that's coming in, but that's part of it. That's why we're bringing bigger tires. But do you want me to go past Rancheria, or how far into the route you want to go?
Keep going. Let's do the whole thing.
Okay. So yeah, we're going up Rancheria, and then one of our most popular trails in the area will be dropping down just Outstanding, which is just below the Alta Sierra Ski Resort.
Now, this is over here near Shirley Peak before the 50-mile mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I noticed that it seems like when you get up to here, you're turning around, there's a campground in the area?
Yeah, so there's a campground, a dispersed campsite right at the trailhead of Just Outstanding. So people can camp there if they want. They can camp, you can camp wherever you want. As long as it's a legal spot, all that fun stuff, quote unquote. But you go up one Rancheria to Just Outstanding, and then we're gonna ride down the single track of Just Outstanding to Waggy Road, and then go Waggy Road to Old State, which brings you right back to the top of Rancheria. So if you notice, you're doing kind of a loop to go maybe 4 miles back to where Rancheria is.
Okay. And then I don't know, is this the area right here where Alta Sierra is, or is that further up?
Okay. So that blank area is going to be like, we're not going to actually hit Alta Sierra. We're going to hit the right before Alta Sierra, and then right past it, where the 155 in Rancheria is.
Okay. So it looks like we've got a lot of climbing up here, and I should put more mileage markers in. But I think like right around here is about mile 70.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And then I noticed that I should probably just pull up the map on this too, so people could see. But yeah, that is probably around this area here, which is about mile 75. Now, when I when I was planning the Mega Hopper, which is about double the length of this, I was planning on doing it in 3 days. When I looked at this, I thought I would do this in 3 days as well.
Let's see how long is it going to take.
Yeah,
I think someone that's like a ultra racer, they could probably get this done in sub 3 days. We had Greg from Escape LA. He did the light route, and I think he was just over or just about 72 hours, but he slept at he got a campsite at McNally's or a room there. He spent the night, had a steak dinner. But he was back within 72 hours for sure. I can go look at the exact time, but definitely I think someone fast that's motivated could get the route done in 3 days if they don't want to sleep or stop.
Yeah,
And somebody who does want to sleep and stuff.
I'm giving myself 4 to 5 days because I'm gonna try and finish it because I'm not an ultra cyclist by any means or your traditional ultra cyclist. I just want to give myself 4 to 5 days to cover ground and get it done.
Yes, I was thinking that, when I was looking at the map, McNally's is. No, it's funny. I was looking at Alta Sierra, which is like at about mile 60. Airbnbs, VRBOs. There are a couple options, but they are pricey.
Yeah.
This would probably be the
Just camp.
Huh?
Just camp.
I'm terrible at camping. But I guess like McNally's, which is around here, I think is like at mile 85. But if the start is happening at 9 a.m., and I already looked up the times, like the dinner ends at 9 p.m., and doing 84 miles would be very ambitious to do over this type of terrain, especially where most of the climbing would probably be in that first 85 miles.
Yeah, I think when Greg did it, he left here at about 5:30, and he got to McNally's, he said, about a half hour before they stopped serving steak dinner.
Okay. All right, I guess I would have to starve overnight or something.
Or just camp out there and then get a steak breakfast.
Okay, and so, okay, well, I'm not going to comment on something that I've just totally screwed up on my planning. But then I know out of McNally's down here, you have this massive climb, and up to Sherman Pass, and I have been up here, but I've only come up the other side. But this is all a big paved climb to get up here to about like the halfway point.
Yeah, so we're bypassing a little bit of the pavement to try and keep it on dirt, mainly because I would like to keep most of this route off pavement as much as you can. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be going up Pack Saddle Trail, which is traditionally just a hiking trail. There is, I believe, a couple of 20+% grades that are going to be a hike-a-bike. It's going to suck, but it's keeping us off the pavement. There's some cool sights to see along Pack Saddle that I won't spoil. You got to come out and check it out if you haven't been there. And then we're going to jump on the Recon 4x4 trail that takes us to Sherman Pass to basically, like I said, stay off the pavement as much as we can. You can't avoid it 100%, but I was trying to keep people away from vehicles, keep people off open roads as much as we can. And it seems like the best option. Mm-hmm. When I called the Forest Service to make sure that the Pack Saddle was legal for bikes, the ranger replied, "It is, but why would you want to?"
Yeah.
So take that for what it is.
Yeah.
Well, so then this segment after you go over Sherman Pass, it's pretty flat for a few miles, but I've always looked at this part going into Kernville.
Can we hold on before we go into the rest of that? Can we back up a little bit before McNally's?
Oh, sure.
So, in between Just Outstanding and McNally's, we're gonna hit Portuguese Pass, which is a beautiful double track. There's single track to the side if anyone's feeling more ambitious. And then if there's a bonus fire lookout, if you want to go to the Tobias Creek fire lookout right before Frog Meadow. So before the big downhill to McNally's, we'll be doing Tobias Creek Trail. From what I I rode the top section. It's beautifully groomed. The lowlifes have come out, and some other local crews have come out and done the upper section. I haven't touched the lower section, but from people that have ridden it, it's very natural and raw. So expect some rough terrain on the lower section of Tobias, and then we'll get to McNally's before we start the climb up Sherman Pass.
Okay. So there's McNally's down here. Climb up to Sherman Pass, and then kind of straddle a little bit before this big descent into Kernville. And that's the one that I'm pretty curious about, because I was looking at online. I think it's either 5 or 7 miles, this last portion into Kernville at negative 10%.
It is called the Plunge. The Cannell Trail is a IMBA Epic rated trail. It's world known. It is probably the most famous trail in our area. And this is in my opinion, the highlight of the trail. However, this is the one that might get X'd out if the snow happens.
I've done the Plunge.
You have?
And that's what we're riding.
I've done the Plunge because when we did the Kern County point-to-point mountain bike thing over 3 days, we rode point-to-point. We had guides and camped. I think it was 2 or 3 days right on the river, and we did the Plunge.
Did you camp at Mountain River Adventures?
I don't remember the name of the company. I'll have to. This
Campsite.
was 2008 or 7 or 8. I can't remember. It was 2 things I remember. I got a brand new mountain bike. I had a brand new Ibis Mojo, and one of the iPhones had just come out. That's the only things I remember, like milestones. And,
it was probably MRA. They used to the campsite along the river. They used to do mountain bike shuttles, guides.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds
all
right.
kinds of fun. And John Stallone, the owner of that campsite, he's a friend of ours. He actually, we have his original sign on the front of the building now. He gave us the MRA bike shop sign, and we mounted it on the front of the building.
Oh, cool.
So,
I swear there was another guy. One of the guys had a single speed, and I just thought it was amazing that he could do what we were doing.
it was probably Marco.
Marco, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Marco. He rode some gnarly rock gardens on this thing, and like he was killing us on this single speed. Marco.
So Marco, he's a good friend of mine. Known him for years. He one of the reasons he rode the single speed dirt jumpers was because back then he couldn't find a bike that fit him, because he was on the shorter side. So nothing.
That was the other amazing thing. He was like this little dude, and he was crushing us on this single speed.
He's just like a little wombat. He just goes.
Marco, that's right.
Yeah, the stuff that I've seen him do on a single speed is what has inspired me to ride single speed a lot of the times. He is truly one of the OGs of our area of single speeds.
At the time, I thought he was insane, and now I have a single speed.
He still is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm more like, it's not as surprising now, but back then I couldn't believe what he was doing. Like, what?
Yeah, he was one of the guides for MRA, so that would make a lot of sense. But
yes.
he was one of the first guys that would ride Rancheria on a single speed up and back. And when I first started riding, I heard lore of Marco, and then I finally met him and started riding with him.
Dude, to this day, that's one of the best bike things I've ever done. To this day. And I had never heard of rock cobble. I don't even know if that was a thing then in 2000.
Not yet.
Well, Kern, and so that was great. That was great. We camped right on the river. I remember thinking it was a good idea to pitch my tent right by the river, but all night long, because the water was running, I kept having to go piss. I said, this wasn't a good idea after all. But yeah, that was a great trip.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the Plunge, then you know what makes it so special a part of this route.
It's no joke. It's not like you have to respect the Plunge.
Yeah, I mean, I just pulling up the Strava segment. Oh, it's worse. It is 7 miles and almost 12%.
Yeah, it's fast and it's kind of loose. You know.
Yeah, it's fun. We just rode it probably 3 weeks ago. We rode the upper section to scout the trail and to get water spots and all that good stuff. And it's wild. It's super fun.
It's no joke.
There's a reason why it's an IMBA epic.
Yes.
Where did I just see?
I gotta find my ride on Strava.
Yeah, Jeff says is a plunge.
Very rough right now.
No. So yeah, if you are in a gravel bike, that should be drop. Yeah, someone just basically filled in what I was about to say.
Yeah.
When we scouted it the other weekend, one of our guys that was with us was on a Kona Sutra ULTD with 2.2s, drop bar, no dropper post, and he rode it. He had no problem with it. He's definitely a better rider than some, but he was able to clear the entire stuff that we did on drop bars, no dropper post, and 2.2s on his 700s.
Mm.
Wow.
2.2, that's a nice size tire.
Yeah.
That's probably as big as I had when I rode it on my mountain bike.
And that's the thing that I keep going back to. All these trails were around when 2.2s were gigantic.
Yeah. Plus, I was
mountain
in
bikes.
26. This was 26-inch wheels.
Yeah, and the brakes were horrible.
I have disc brakes. I think I did. Yeah, that was a disc brake bike.
Yeah, but even back then, the disc brakes weren't that great.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, just my very quick plan was I was like, okay, I will probably just spend the night in Kernville, night 2, or Lake Isabella, because it seems like day 3 is kind of the easiest day of them all. Or basically from this point back, there is climbing, but it's a lot of flat stuff following the lake.
Calling day 3 from 130 on.
I think Kernville is probably about it's about 127. So you're almost 2/3 of the way.
So my suggestion would be try and get to Keysville and camp there. There's free camping at Keysville recreation site. You got plenty of stuff to resupply beforehand, and then get up early to start the last leg of the trip.
So basically, when you're getting out of Kernville, it's pretty flat following the lake and then the Kern River. And it's basically going around the river. You kind of dip back in going to the 178, but then you have this climb back up to Oak Flat.
Yep.
What is this? This is what you and Priscilla were actually trying to do this past weekend.
Yeah, we rode up Oak Flat and then down Badger Gap to kind of the halfway point. From Keysville, what you're going to do is basically the Kern River Trail to Badger Gap to Oak Flat. Mm-hmm. So we did it opposite because we wanted to start with climbing Oak Flat, and we were trying to do a route we have here called Badger Cow. Priscilla watched your video about Badger Gap or about Cow Flat, mm-hmm. and got inspired and decided that she wanted to go do something big, dumb, and stupid like you and Alejandro did. So we planned on doing as much of Badger Cow as we can. Badger Cow is up Rancheria, down Badger Gap, cross over to Cow Flat, and then up Cow Flat, down Breckenridge, back into town.
Okay. Was it 30 degrees like when Zach did it, or 37 or whatever?
No, it was warm. It was warm this weekend. But yeah, so that was the plan. We wanted to get as much as we could done. We didn't know if we would finish it all in one shot. We have it marked kind of as a 2-day trip, but she was like, let's just see how much we can do in one day. And we got back to the Kern Canyon or Kern River over at the DeLonga day use areas where Alejandro picked us up at. Mm-hmm. I think we ended up doing just under 30 miles and just over 5,500 feet elevation. But Badger Gap is rough. This will be my big disclaimer of the trip is this is not groomed trails. This stuff is natural. Stuff is raw. This is backcountry stuff. This is not for your average Sunday rider. Be prepared to get into the shit. Pardon my language, but it's gonna get rough.
How far of roughness are we talking about?
Let's just put it this way. It took us maybe 6-7 hours to go about 10 miles. So
So
that was it got rough at places, and that was us going downhill. So in the direction of the route, we're going to be going uphill, which is going to
oh no.
which may make it worse. So plan on day 3 or the last day. It looks easy on the route, but it's going to be a kicker.
Yeah. Okay. So it basically is around the 170, 60 mark there. If you can see on the profile, is there, I'm trying to remember, because I know Alejandro and I, when we went up Rancheria, we tried going down one of the trails, but it was pretty covered. Is poison oak an issue?
It can be. We didn't see much of it out while we were out on a Sunday, but I would definitely be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who's this? Okay, we'll have to make sure the source is vetted. So,
Hey, there she is.
That's a cute avatar.
Yeah, I noticed one thing when y'all made the map, that you've got a lot of water along baked in. I mean, you'll definitely have to filter your own water in certain places.
100% bring a filter.
Yeah, there look like there's options as well, but that would be necessity.
I'll throw a disclaimer out there. The spots that I marked for water are potential spots, being that it's November. We had a dry summer. There may not be some. I tried to mark on the map when I confirmed there was water last seen. So it's backcountry mountains, Kern County. We tried to find as many reliable sources as we could, but if it's not there, I'm sorry. I can't control nature. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But you didn't say the word. That was another disclaimer you threw out.
Yeah, I'm throwing disclaimers out there for you. You can't be mad at me. I'm not charging anything for this, so you get what you pay for.
Yes. Well, and then so once you do get to the Oak Flat, then it's pretty much you should make it home from here. You're just descending back into town. I'll have to ask again. Is the Taco Bell, is that 24 hours?
I think it's open pretty late. I think you could live Moss up to 2 a.m.
And then there's the deli that's attached to it too. So
yeah,
I don't know what their hours, but they have some goods ready and available overnight. And then everyone will come back home. When we were doing the Mega Hopper, there was no formal exit, and I think even Rob Britton, who was the first finisher, was trying to figure out where to go once he came in. So no promises that I guess someone will be at the shop when they come in, but are people required to wear trackers for this ride?
No, we're not requiring anything. Again, so it's not a group ride. Let's just get that out there. This is a ride your own adventure. We put a route together. We're all leaving together. There's no saying that everyone has to do this at the same time. This is you're completely on your own. You're self-supported. There's no help. If you get into trouble, you better have a backup plan. This is kind of like it's not an organized group ride. So you ride it. You can ride it at your own pace. You can camp where you want to ride. You can find people to ride with. You can do however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong.
So people should just expect that there's five bars on their phone at all time. It should be no problem if something happens. They can just
no, not at all. You should be you should be versed in riding in the backcountry. You should be versed in this kind of riding before you tackle a ride like this. This is not a beginner overnighter route. This is not a walk in the park. This is something to challenge yourself, challenge myself, challenge anyone that wants to throw themselves at it.
So I guess the question is, since you're doing this, what is your setup going to be?
Like camp wise or bike wise?
Everything, like bike and
Likewise.
So I plan on riding my fully rigid Kona unit. I'm gonna go. I've got a handlebar bag, a frame bag, and a saddle bag set up. 29 by 2.8 tires, gears. I got a 12-speed drivetrain on it this time. So hydraulic disc brakes too. I took the mechanicals off. So yeah, I'm camp wise, not bringing a tent, not bringing any creature comforts, going as bare minimal as I can. Don't plan on staying in any one area too long. I want to try and just keep forward motion going and get it done. This is ultimately the reason I made this route, was to challenge myself, and decided to throw an open invite to anyone else that wants to challenge themselves on the same day.
So no sleeping.
So I'm gonna sleep. I brought a tarp, I brought a bivy sack, and a sleeping bag.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going very minimalist on it. I'm bringing my 15-degree sleeping bag just because I don't know where I'll end up sleeping. I hope it doesn't get colder than that. I got some extra provisions for if it does get colder. I'll be prepared for it. I'll have my Garmin going, all the live track stuff, all the safety stuff. So Priscilla, whoever can keep an eye on me, would recommend a InReach of some sort if you have one. Water, I think I've narrowed it down to about 3 to 4 liters of water for this route. I'm going to be doing, my nutrition is going to be heavily relied on water. So I'm bringing more water than I think I need. So I think that 4 liters is probably where I'm going to land on. And then dehydrated food, I plan on restocking and resupplying at McNally's and in Kernville. The Sierra Gateway store has a huge selection of dehydrated food. They got a deli. They have everything. Kern River Brewing's across the street. So get a burger, all that fun stuff. So food, I'm not going too crazy on food, just the essentials. Bring a stove so I can heat up my water for all that. Yeah. Any specific questions?
I haven't used dehydrated food, so like, what kind of selection do you have for that? Like what?
I've fallen on. I really like the brand Peak Refuel.
Okay.
It seems to be the highest like protein, highest calories for the least amount of water needed to make it. And it's super light, and it gets the job done. Tastes really good. I recommend the chicken Alfredo or just the regular Alfredo if you're vegetarian or vegan. Check all that stuff before you eat it.
Right.
But yeah, that's the stuff that I've settled on. And then for like on the bike nutrition, I've been Gene Splat Doctor, good friend. He turned me on to a brand called, I believe it's pronounced Martine.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
We had
That
that
stuff
place.
not endorsed by them. Trying to open an account with them so I could sell it in the store.
Mm-hmm.
The best stuff I've used in a long time. So it works really well for me. I used that on Sunday. I used it at Mammoth Tough, and it just
The drink or the bar, because they have bars and they have gels.
so I'm doing their drink mix and then their gels.
Yeah, see, I've only tried the bar.
I haven't bar wise. I'm bringing some Rhino Power Mana bars. I really like. But otherwise, I'm doing the Martine gel and drink mix.
Mm-hmm.
The big like 300, I think it's 320 or 380 calories per
Wow.
bottle.
That's great.
So
Yeah, I just tried the gel, and it kind of reminds me of that carbs one that's been out the last couple of years, but it feels like it's an adjustment because like
the worst consistency I've ever had in a gel. It's the worst consistency I've ever had, but it's worked the best.
Yeah, that's the funny part about it. Which one?
Their gels, the Martine gel.
Martine gel. Okay.
Yeah. Worst consistency I've ever had, but the best like results I've ever had out of a gel.
Yeah, and maybe that has something to do with it, because when you have that giant carbs thing, you just feel like
it's almost
four jolts,
Yeah.
So maybe the whole thing with that is it just kind of lets the energy kind of, smooth out over time rather than just like really shoot you really quick.
I think the carbs one, if you put it in your bottle, is better than just like swallowing it down, because it's like shocking when you eat that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll also do. I've been really happy with the LMNT stuff, the salty drink mix. I've been happy with that, so I'll bring some of that to mix in there too. And then I'll probably have some solid foods to have in between. I got my whole like meal plan written down at home. I kind of dorked out and did the whole like, oh, I'm gonna chat GPT. How many calories per hour do I need for this, that, and the other? So I'm kind of going off what AI tells me I need for my body.
Wow.
See if that works.
Robot endorsed.
Yeah, let's see how it works.
Wow.
I eat Taco Bell for a living. I've never really been into nutrition, so this is all new to me. So,
did you weigh all your whole setup? Like, do you know what your system weight is going to be?
I weighed it without my full water setup, and I want to say I'm in the 45 to 49 pound range for everything.
Okay.
So
that's not bad for 3 or 4 days out in the wilderness.
Yeah, so that's kind of my camp gear, like my base gear for sleep and my sleep system and all that is, I want to say like 5 to 6 pounds for just that. Like that's just what it is, and then everything else just adds on top of that plus the bike.
Mm-hmm. And how do you heat your little propane thing? How do you heat your water?
So I have been a huge fan of. I have an alcohol burner from Vargo, and you just pour liquid alcohol in it, and it's a little slower than like the jet boils. It's slower than the propane style ones, but the titanium burner is so much smaller and lighter that it helps cut some grams out, and it gets the job done. So
good to know. What do you think, Zachary?
Oh, well, how many layers of clothes are you going to bring?
I'm being pretty strategic about this one. I'm going to bring a pair of pants, a pair of shorts, 2 our sun hoodies that we just put out there, and then like socks, underwear, stuff like that. I don't do chamois, so I'm not bringing any of that stuff. I'm going pretty minimal. I'm going to be disgusting. It's not about like, I don't care what I smell like.
Wait, back up. Time out. You don't ride with chamois?
No, I've been chamois free for about 3 years now.
And what kind of saddle do you use?
Brooks C19, the cambiums.
I can't imagine riding without a chamois. Like I just can't imagine that.
So I was on a mission because I just want to be able to jump on any of my bikes and go ride. I don't want to have to always.
For a time, I'll ride in jeans or whatever, but like a ride like this, like.
But here's my other thought behind it was I pack weight and packing down. It's easier to pack a pair of underwear than it is to pack extra chamois.
For sure. Yeah.
So like when you look at size stuff, so I was just kind of nerding out on finding the perfect saddle, and I went through some like Cell Italia SLR short nose ones, which were really good. And then we started selling a bunch of this Brooks C17s at the shop. And I was like, I've sold probably 30, 40 of these things. Maybe I should try one. And now I have one on every one of my bikes. I was not a believer in them before, and then I tried it. Now I have demo versions of them at the shop for people to test out before they use them because I like them that much. But yeah,
I'm sorry. So for people like me that don't know which model that is that the one with the springs, or is that like a modern style one, or what?
So it's the modern style one. It's not leather. It's a cambium rubber. So it's their all-weather saddle.
Is it the one with the rivets in the back, or is
they all have rivets in the back, but they it's not the leather version like the old school looking ones. They're more sleek. They don't look out of place on your modern bikes.
Yeah, I see people putting those old looking saddles on new bikes and just think that's a bad move. At
I
least
couldn't get it. I couldn't get into the leather ones personally because as someone that has to take care of everyone else's bikes, I don't take the time in my own stuff as much as I need. So the last thing I wanted to worry about was not getting my saddle wet or with the leather. So I opted for the cambiums.
okay.
So, but yeah, they're great. It's a hammock saddle. It flexes. There's a cutout version, a non-cutout version. Um, Try one. You might like it.
I would. I'm not going to put something that looks like it's from 1887 on any of my bikes.
Give me one second. Let me grab one and I'll show you. Give me one. Give me
Yeah,
one second.
I do want to see which one you're talking about.
Give me one second.
You know what? I think maybe we've been so trained to wear bibs, but I've ridden some of these Brook saddles, and there's a reason why people are pretty in love with them.
There must be. I mean, they've been around forever. I mean, and they have many different styles and more modern looking ones, but usually when you see them, they're old school looking. You know, leather.
I know, but they work, which is pretty amazing.
Sure, but I wouldn't put that on my any bike I have. Really, I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. With the yeah, that's a modern looking saddle. That I
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're super flexy, so they flex with your body, and they have different widths.
I was going to say that one looks pretty wide. Do they have a more narrow one?
Yeah, so they have the C13, 15, 17, and 19, and those all dictate the width.
Okay, yeah,
So-
I ride that for sure. Yeah, okay.
And I find myself liking the 17s the most. I tried the 19. It was a little too wide. But Alejandro he has a 19 on that fat bike he just got, and he says he absolutely loves the 19 over the 17.
Does it mean 190 across? Was that what
I think
19?
yeah, they're measuring I don't know if it's 190. I'd have to go back and look the exact specs, but yeah,
Okay.
roughly.
Put that comment back up. I didn't see what it said.
Yeah, I meant to reply, but I just saw that people were asking if I'm doing the ride. I said no, because my wife is actually in Mexico, and that's why I have to stay home and watch. But I just said I do have coverage for my daughter on the Sunday. That's why we have to send it. But well, to answer the question, I'm not doing too many rides. I guess we're doing the Tour de Dugo on Saturday, which Vic, sorry, I randomly ran into Vic today while I was out on a bike ride, and he said, "Isn't it going to rain on Saturday?" I was like, "No," but I didn't realize that today that the forecast totally switched. So
It's gonna rain, like it's 95% chance to rain. It's gonna rain.
yeah,
It's
but
not
it was
coming
0%.
Sunday, ironically.
So, if you want to talk about weather, I was saying, just so anyone's still interested in the route, if it does snow, rain, we have weather at the higher elevations. We do have an alternate route that drops basically elevation lower, so we won't be going up as high. So if you are planning on coming, you won't have to change your plan. It's just going to be a little easier than if we do the full route. So you don't have to bring any more stuff, and if anything, you'll have to bring less stuff.
It cuts off elevation and miles, or just elevation? I bet you said.
Elevation mainly. I'm routing it to keep the miles about the same.
Okay.
But it'll be almost 10,000 feet less elevation altogether.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Let's do that.
So, yeah. So basically, it's cutting out the Sherman Pass, and then it may cut out the Badger Gap climb and do Cow Flat instead of Badger Gap.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. Yeah,
but we're gonna see how weather goes, because if Badger Gap gets wet and slick, it's gonna be very, very unenjoyable.
I tell you, I was super impressed, and people just saw the recent video with Alejandro. Go Cumbre! Super impressed by that road. Just the architecture of it too, which is pretty strange for a road that's over 100 years old. I know that they've probably regraded it in certain parts, but the fact that it's so kind of flattish for a good part of it kind of goes against the grain of what a lot of these roads were from that age, because that adds a lot more construction to it, but still really pleasant to ride. And if that's an alternative, I think people will be pretty happy.
Yeah, I have kind of I feel like a skewed perception of Cal Flat, 'cause I haven't ridden it since I was like just a downhill bro, and I hated climbing and I hated pedaling, and I wouldn't do anything but shuttle a mountain bike down any trail. And
Mhm.
so I want to go back and do it to just see if I appreciate it in a different sense now that I like pedaling a lot more. I enjoy the grind, and I enjoy all that goes with it. So Alejandro specifically asked me to change the route to Cal Flat. So if it does, it's because of him.
Okay. Well, you put in a good amount of time here. Good commenting. Excellent. Give yourself a pat in the back if you decide to put those fingers to work. And this is pretty cool. I'm glad you got it on bikepacking.com, and I'm sure this is brings some interest. And yeah, anyone that's driven through the area, you're always looking up the hill to see what else there is to ride. So this is just great to like introduce a lot of people to more riding, and really great region.
Yeah, and that's like I said in the beginning, that's what I wanted to do was not necessarily we're doing a grand apart, but the route is always open. You could do it any time of year. You don't have to wait for us to go out as a group. I wanted to have something that is puts Baker another reason to put Bakersfield and Kern County as a destination for cycling. I think not being a native to here, I think what keeps me here is how good our dirt roads are, and look how successful the rock cobbler is. People come to Kern County because we have great trails and terrain, and I wanted to highlight that with this route. And so if you can't make it to the Grand Depart, the route's always open. It's on bikepacking.com. We're going to try and get an official route put on there. We're working with bikepacking routes as well. I want to try and get a hold of someone to actually steward the route. That's kind of my goal. Is I'd like to this is our first time doing it. I would like to fine tune it, and hopefully next year we get some trail work, we get some maintenance crews. Right now in the government shutdown, all the fun stuff there, we don't have the resources to go out and do that unless we just do it on our own. So hopefully this will be something that sparks interest and gets people into our backyard and help protect our trails and keep things open.
That's all good stuff.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, and the artwork also. Whoever did that's a pretty cool logo you got thrown up there too.
The emblem logo.
Yeah.
So that was done by my friend Cam at Canvas Design Company. Got to shout him out.
Mm-hmm.
He does most of the Grizzly Cycles logos. He's one of those guys that I could just say, "Hey, here's an idea, make it happen," and he does that. And then if you look at the logo, that's the actual route, like outline. My friend Leah, she did that. She's super into like local art and local everything, and she was the first person I thought of when I wanted to do a imagery like that. So
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, everything you've always done art wise, pretty good. I know I've got some stuff up here. About here. Oh, and I also still have my cup from the Taco Bell Century.
sick. It's probably gross.
Shouldn't reuse it.
Yeah, are you coming to the next Taco Bell Century?
Possibly. That's it's interesting because you're almost like doing it like at the very least amount of sunlight of the year.
Yeah. Bring lights.
Yeah. So what about it?
Yeah. I mean,
I know
it is what it is. We don't stop riding just because it gets dark.
Yeah.
So.
I guess so. Taco Bell doesn't close either. I guess
Live Moss.
They're not.
Poop Moss.
Yeah, this one is going to be. I'll preview if you want. I can preview a little bit of the Taco Bell 6.0 Diablo sauce route. We're gonna do. It's gonna be familiar from the first Send It ride we did, where we went up to Shafter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be revisiting some of that, and then coming back into Oildale and Bakersfield. And then, have you heard of a road called Round Mountain Road?
That's kind of northeast.
Yeah, it's portions of it are usually on the cobbler.
Okay, yeah.
Um, I'm just making people go around Round Mountain Road just for the hell of it, and then to the next Taco Bell. So it's going to
Okay.
be, I would say, this one. Bring skinnier tires are going to be better than big tires for this next Taco Bell century.
So 1.95 instead of 2.0s.
Yeah, like I would honestly say like 35s to 40s would be ideal for the route on the next one.
Okay. Well, we'll bring you back to talk.
Just a little teaser.
Country.
Just
Yeah,
a little
so
teaser.
people start scouting right now, but I guess we're also working on our Grizzly Cycles has also been the home of the launch of the Send It's the last 2 years. So for the beginning of the year. So looking forward to that. Anyways, well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's all rest up. And thanks everyone for joining us. Hope to see you, pictures of you out there.
Yeah.
Good moss.
We'll